will share my screen. So just give me your feedback if you are seeing my screen and also hearing me without no problem, please. Are you hearing me and are you watching my screen, please? Tell me.
Yeah, I see the
Okay.
screen and I hear you perfectly.
Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So, okay, so this session is going to I'm going to try to be as explicit as I can, and it's going to be just to show you a little bit about our platform, a few things about. Let me take this away. I had to open a private. Okay, this one let me see. Okay, so I'm going to be here and also Streamlab. Okay, so that's the agenda of today. I'm going to show you a little bit about our learning platform. I'm going to talk about the so-called MOOCs, which are Microsoft Official Courseware. I'm going to talk a few things about labs in general, how you're going to perform your labs and how to do in case you need to. Some cases, this is a general scheme, so sometimes it's differently depending on the course you're taking and also dependently of the kind of certification or course you will participate in. So a few learning component added by now for our company and the support we going to give you how it's going to be and question that you may have also doubts that perhaps it comes during your first step with us. Okay, so first of all, I had to tell you, or you had to have a welcome email from us. And usually the welcome email of us is sort of what you're looking in the screen. You get an email and which is telling you which course you're taking with us, and you have your email is sending from support to Nanfor support, and just give you two line of greeting, and after that the most important is down below. And we are giving a username and a password, and that's what I was opening a browser because in the username and password you have to come in the campus, so you have to write in a browser campus that Nanfor campus.nanfor.com, and you have to get inside of your here is our welcome screen from our platform, and here you say sign in, and then the user and password we send you have to be uh, let me go and log myself also in. Uh, because I'm, technical support have been inside a lot of courses, but that's why I get a lot of feedback. But usually your welcome screen is going to be just a little card which say the course. If you already taken some courses with us, it will more than one, but it's the first time that you're taking, it will appear just one card telling you the course. So this is going to be the course. For example, it's in English, it's the SC-200 Microsoft Operation, Security Operation. You have to click, it's the only card you're going to get, because if it's your first time with us, you will have only that card. So it will take you to the main page of the course. It will be written on top, and on your left hand side you have some navigation uh, points, as well as the BRAD, so-called BRAD Scrum menu on top. So you can navigate from those on your left panel, or also on the same, because it will going to be the same, like welcome, queries, and official course material that will be official course material. It's also the same, but the main thing is you always have to come to this page, and is the welcome page, let's say so. So you have to navigate the welcome page on your left on your screen. And uh, I, I want to call your attention about a few things on our platform. First, it will be describe the course outline, the what is inside of the course, but also on your left hand side, you will see that you have a little checkbox. Please note at the moment this checkbox is not is empty. So let's say we're going to go inside of the course outline, and the course outline they will give you a description of what is the course about. You know how many models it has, and inside of each model, how many lections or how many points on lab, everything detailed. So, for example, you have here one model, and the model is called Mitigate Threat using Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, and describing what are all the main chapters or the part of the that model, and then you can read carefully all the models until you go all the way down and see the last one, which is this course has 8 modules, and you can read all about in general what is going to be each model and each part. So if we're going back, we have to go to welcome. But as I was telling you, look that now the checkbox is already checked because we already have been inside, and the platform has a kind of sense that is detecting where you had been and what you had done. This is important for us because, for example, some participant they still working, or they're doing some courses on their job, and for example their bosses or their supervisor wants to have some kind of detail what you are doing. For example, you're in the middle of the course and suddenly your boss comes and tells you, I want a detailing report on what you have been doing and in which part you are of the course, etc., because they need it for any reason. So the our platform is capturing behind the X scenario all your step, all your skill that you have learned, and in case you need that report from us, we can do it very easily because the platform do it for us, and it will create a report which details every step that you have been doing inside the platform. So that's very important uh, that you going through every step from the welcome that is on top all the way to the bottom, scrolling all the way to the bottom and going to each step. So the platform can detect that you have been you haven't been through that's a specific chapter or a specific point of your training. So in case we need it, we can do a very detailed inform or report about your training with us. This is the welcome. Just tell you general things about the course. For example, the prerequisite. The prerequisites are, what you need to what you should already know about to be, in good shape to perform, to go ahead and do this course. So, microsecurity operation analysis, you just need a basic understanding of Microsoft 365 and fundamental of Microsoft security compliance and all identity product, etc. That you will have time to read it. So going further down, again, look that I haven't going through this section because this section is not really important. It's just still about some probably information that we have to give you. Suddenly, for example, in the middle, we had to, let's say, something happened, and in a day our platform will be shut down. So we had to tell you, from let's say tomorrow and after tomorrow, the platform not working because we are doing maintenance, and that's this chapter, this section is about is for us to send you messages, just to prevent send you messages that probably are important for you to know. It's not about you. It's mainly about us and things that we have to tell you during the course. So prerequisite already talking and the course methodology. That is how the whole thing is working about your training with us. And here are your course guideline. The methodology you're taking, accessing time, some question that you need to probably you have some question, when you be able to access the material and all of that. You can read it here. So after that, we had the course resource and activity, and it tells you about that you have the official courseware from Microsoft, and there's some other additional resources that we had created, but also some other tutorials, perhaps video, etc., that we can provide you because we had created or is available online, and we think that is fitting your need or complement what you are studying. There's some homework, that you have to do. Uh, Explain your laboratory, which is the practical part of there is two things in the course that you might really care about is the theory and the practical part. We will talk. The practical part is the labs or hands-on that you will have to do in order for you to gain some skill and have the better comprehension of the course and the theory of as well. So and there is also we have a forum that I will tell you in is the next section in the main page of the platform. I will tell you in a second. So the participation in the forum is very important. I will tell you more. There is some online assessments at the end. There is one final evaluation and probably some online assessment. And at the end, when you already gone through the whole material, you doing your lab and homework and everything, you will get a diploma from us, from our institution, telling that you are complete our course and all the needed information, what is inside of the diploma. But also, if you want to go ahead and prepare yourself for certification, there will be enough information about it. About the tutor, communication, how's the communication between two of us, and the minimal requirement that you have to have on your PC in order, to perform all the communication with the platform and material and lab that you will need it. So that is the course methodology, and here this is it's not really queries. The idea is not query. The idea is some kind of communication between you and us. And we had two section here. The virtual advisor is something that we are developing at the moment, and I'm just going to show you. Virtual advisor is a bot chat that we have installed in order in case you need you have a general question. For example, you don't know what is a proctor exam. Entonces you can ask our proctor exam, for example. What is a proctor exam? Or just write the proctor exam. And it will tell you a proctor exam. Oh, it's in Spanish. It should be also written in English. There is a video here, but anyway, and a video here. Let's say what is a Pass, for example. You don't know what a Pass is, so. See, it's also in because I didn't wrote the whole thing. I just wrote proctor exam, and that's why it give you my answer in Spanish. But probably if you write the whole question correctly, it will respond you also in English. So here is, and I mean, is like I was telling you at the very beginning, this is we are developing and we are feeding this chat box in order to have more question and whatever you need. For example, there is some we're filling question from specific courses or the courses that that we have more participant student in and they have a lot of questions. For example, what is a VLAN? For example, what is a VLAN? A virtual local area network, and it will tell you, it will give you a whole description. We are feeding this chatbot in order to explain you and tell you more deeply what is. So feel free to ask questions. Of course, if you have a question like when is your birthday or something, there is some chit chat answer that will tell you I don't really have an age, what is your gender, example, because some start to have some question that has no meaning at all. Okay, so the virtual advisor is only to help you inquiry general things that perhaps you have, just to be more efficient in not, for example, not to go all the way to us and ask us and lose that time, that the precious time that probably you have. So I was telling you that I will tell you about the forum, the course forum. The first forum is very important for us and also for you. The forum is whenever you have a question. Let's say, you are doing a lab. I will tell you first that each module could have a practical part that's been a lab, but it can have 0 labs, or can have 1 labs, or can have 2 or 3 labs. So that's depending of the course. That's depending how Microsoft has created the structure of the whole course. So you could have 0 or 1 or more labs in each module, and each labs has a defined number of exercise, and each exercise has some task. So you have labs, you have tasks, you have exercises, and as you can see, as I showed you at the very beginning, we are a technical support of a lot of students, a lot of courses that we are taking. So the idea to use the forum is behind is that it will guide us to us to give you a more effective and efficient response. Because if you go in your email and write down, for example, I have a problem with this and this and this, and it probably, if in your email is not detailed enough your name, we don't know what you are talking about. And as I was telling you, we have a lot of courses and a lot of participants. Probably we could not identify also as well the lab you are doing and which course you are. And I was telling you, each course has a different modules has different labs have different exercises has tasks, etc. So whenever you have a problem, we always beg you to be or give as much information as you can. Be very specific about your question. For example, I'm working the lab 8, and in lab 2, exercise 4, and task 3, there is something that blah blah blah, whatever the situation that you have, and then you posted your question here. So you you are a debate. You just give the title, a debate a title, for example. Some kind of, or you are running some kind of code, or PowerShell, for example. PowerShell error, for example. You are executing some script, and then there is some problem in this script. I mean, you're getting an error from. So in here you just detail, as I'm doing lab 3, and lab 3 of module 5, model 5, and the exercise 3, the task 2. I had to run this PowerShell, and if you have a screenshot, much better, because it will allow us to see what you are seeing, and as more information we have from the problem, from the situation, and more quickly we will answer you. We will be in the point that you are, and we'll try to understand what is the behavior of the problem that you have. So once you fill the information with detail, screenshot, etc., you just hit send it to the forum, which is and it's not all translated at the moment. Anyway, here it said send it to the forum, and once you send it to the forum, your debate will come as a question here in the where is it will come as a questions in the forum, and it will appear here, and then automatically it will trigger uh, an email to the support where we can read it. But most important is that as because you are doing the question through the forum, and the platform will detect the course that you are, the name that you are. I mean, it will give us all the information about who sent the the question and in which course you are. So we will be, at least we will have your information, we will have the course and you are. Something that if you do it independently directly to us to write from your email account, probably we don't know in which course you are. So that's very important for us. And on the other hand as well, you can imagine if there is something wrong in the in all the description of the lab, probably something happened that is not correctly, it is not understandable enough. So and you're not the only one who's going to have the problem. Some other students will have the same problem. So in this case, the first student that sent us, we will also post the result, and the next student, if he has the same question, he can will find it here. We'll find it here, the following student, they don't have to write it or to look for an answer because it's already here in the forum. So that's the other reason important that for us, we beg you to write all your question specific for the course inside the forum, because we will get the same email to the support. We will get back to you. We will know in which course you are, and also writing down the question in the forum. Also, we can help other students to get the information probably. So that's very important for us. Well, usually we have a video here that explain all what I'm telling you. I mean, it's like a welcome session, but it's in Spanish, and probably that's why it's not posted here. I think I did a video in English, like I was telling you. Anyway, this will be is being recorded, so we can put it here. You can review it again. So further more, we have the official courseware, and I was telling you there, your training has two important parts: the theory and the practical part. The theory is the Microsoft course material, and the labs. We will talk first about the the theory, which is the mock, the Microsoft Course Online courseware. So um, the theory, you have to come here and click here, and we beg you that uh, always to do it through our platform, because I already explained what is the reason to use the platform, because the platform will detect all your steps you are doing. So here it will give you the access to material. Let's wait a little bit to this will they give you some uh, okay. Here is going uh, to to send you to the Microsoft Learn, and Microsoft Learn, it will give you the whole a lot of exercises in hands-on about your course. But you can come always to Microsoft independently. If you just Google, you just say Microsoft, right? Microsoft, and then Microsoft Learn, excuse me, Microsoft Learn, and then you just write Microsoft Learn, the code of your course, and then it will take you to the same part that as we saying you. But the idea to do it with Dash is because our platform will detect us in case we need to inform or to create a report. As I was telling you at the beginning, we will have that you already went to Microsoft Learn and start to do it things. So going back to Microsoft Learn, to work for Microsoft Learn, to Microsoft Learn is where Microsoft give us the ability to prepare ourselves for a certified examination. There is a lot of material here. For example, mitigation of threat with Microsoft D7, their 365, it has 6 more. Eh, because all my settings is in Spanish, that will be in Spanish, but that is not a big deal, as you can go to the URL, ¿verdad? So you see that it is in Spanish. So you have to put English United States, or if you are from the UK, you can put English UK, but you can put EN, which is English, and they UK, or US for the United States English, and then you hit on that, and then everything will appear off in English as well. So you can put in German, in Italian, whatever uh, language you prefer to. So, and as I was telling you, Microsoft Learn is the way where you can train absolutely free from Microsoft uh, all different part of to prepare for your exercise. Even give you some information about how the certification exam is measured, and which part has more. For example, from the 100% from the certification exam, more than half is boarding is taking care of the Microsoft Sentinel and mitigate threat using Microsoft Sentinel. So probably you will want to give more attention or more time to prepare yourself with that topic. So, but anyway, once you start here, look that it said that you have 8 models. So it's a lot of time. It's a lot of things that you will have to do. Other thing is you have to sign in this Microsoft Learn app on your right hand side, it will appear a sign-in screen, and you have to sign in with your Microsoft ID email. Why is that? Because once you are signing, it will. Let me go and sign in. Let me see. Once you do that, it is important because Microsoft will keep a track of all your whatever you are doing in Microsoft Learn, and it's giving you some point recommendation, and also it can inform you. So, for example, look that I have some levels and some point because everything that I have accomplished or have been taking part of this. So that is important that you do all your Microsoft Learn exercise with your account, your specific personal Microsoft ID account, because that will go to you, not to the uh, organization that you work for. This is personal, so you have to give your personal Microsoft ID from your personal account, because this is personal to you. It's not for your company. It's a training that you are doing, etc. So once you're doing that, let me close the section probably because I need to do. So it is very important. You can also have different other courses as you, if you know the code of that course. All the Microsoft courses has a defined code, and you can just write it down the code, and you will find it if you want a training from that practical part. So uh, another place where before Microsoft Learn, there was the so-called skill pipe. And I will let me see if you have a skill pipe here. No. Uh, um, it's Microsoft Learn, Streamlab, Streamlab. Okay, so anyway, I will tell you about before Microsoft Learn now. Microsoft is making us to to do all the exercises in Microsoft Learn. But the theory or the book of your course is in so-called skill pipe. A skill pipe is a library where we have all our courses that we have done with Microsoft. This is again is personal because you have to if it's your first time that you're doing a course with Microsoft, you are not registered, so you don't have any email and password to sign in. So what you need to do is to go to here down and say you don't have an account, okay? And you say, oh, yes, I don't have an account. It's my first time. So you click. Let me show you again. Let me click and join now, and then you have to fill this form. You have to uh, write your name, email, your password. You have to agree with the term, condition, and privacy policy, and then you click on register. Once you click on register, they will send you an email to the email that you sign in. Again, I will recall you that you need to do this with a personal email. Why you have to do it with a personal email and not with a company or your enterprise email? Because let's say you change a company suddenly, and then if you are uh, if you are in another company, most probably in your first company, they will erase your email. For example, I'm here and my name is at nanfor.iberica.com, right? But in case we change company, our company will keep our email for some period of time. After that, they will delete it, and you won't have no more access to this account because it will be deleted. So that's why you need to write it with your email, because this is personal from Microsoft to you and vice versa. And as I was telling you, this is the library of all your courses that you have done with Microsoft. So once you fill your name, your personal email, you confirm, you put a password, agree the term, you register. They will send you a confirmation email to your personal email. You click on that, you verify your email. Once you are good, you will have access to uh, to SkillPine. Like I was telling you, SkillPine is your library where it's keeping all the courses, all the books that you from the courses that you has done with Microsoft. Okay, so if everything is okay, look, because I have been doing so many courses, so I have a lot of books. If you first time, you won't have nothing, and in some book you will have some numbers. That is because they have some edition. For example, this is three in this. For example, this is programming in C sharp. If you click on that, because there is a version A, B, and C editor one, right? That's why. And in some other books, they will have some update because they haven't done yet a new edition, but they cover some errors, some typos that they wrote. So they say currently reading. For example, I was currently reading that, and you will have I don't have any updates. So it will tell you that's is updating because they correct some typos and you put in there. So as I will tell you, you that will appear empty. If this is your first time, you have not done no courses with Microsoft. So you come to menu, and your menu you will have to add a course. And here, as I was telling you before, you will have to in your email. Let me go back and do my excuse me. This is let me. This is not to. This is have to go here. And what I need to do is this one. So uh, in the email that we send you, there will be also a so-called mock uh, code or mock voucher. Well, it's just a serial number, a hash number. So that's the one you have to write it here. So I don't know if you had done that yet, but anyway, if you haven't done that yet, for example, I will if they send you sometime because the Microsoft is taking away this one. If you got look, that is four parts, so you will have to have four what is it called? 4 digit, 4 digit, 4 digit, or 5 digit, 5 digit, full tuples of digit number. Well, once you have that, you have if they send you from our email, please let me know. You have to redeem uh, your code here, and once you redeem, you say redeem license, and when redeem license is, it will tell you it's okay, and then you're done. And once you're done, your book will appear here. So I have done this course, even I have a certification on this on your course. So it is alphabetically ordered. So F is at the end. So so it will appear here your course, and this is the book. Skill Pipe is the place where you have all your boxes, and then you navigate. You have your table of content as we saw. We have a models, so you go to the course introduction, and down on your left you have a double arrow to go back, and on your right hand side down you have also double arrow to go forward. So if you go all the way, you will get the first page of your book, and then you start browsing, and then it will be some disclaimer, and be about the courses, things that probably we have and then you will jump, and they will jump in your first model. And this first model is called mitigate threat using Microsoft 365 Defender. So here you is theory. You have to start reading, and at the end, once you read, and you go forward, and you will have information at the end. I will go forward, and at the end, uh, is one model has different chapters. So like you say, like you see, and this model has introduction, and then it has mitigate incident using Microsoft 365 Defender, and then it has protect your identity with Azure AD identity protection, remedy, etc. So you will be reading this. You will be reading this, and then it's lection. It's not a chapter. It's some lections. This lection has some introduction and learning objective that you can read what you are reading, and then at the end, I'm going to go all the way at the end, and I'm going to go here because is the last lesson of this first module. And at the end, you all will have a so-called check your knowledge or some kind of self-assessment of multiple choice examination, and you will based on the reading that you had done before. So you check yourself. You put, for example, it will be red if it's wrong. It will be green if it's okay, which is the LP component. Is to classify document, let's say sensitivity label, and is because it's green, it's okay. Sensitivity label is data loss protection. Say data loss protection is sensitivity level is a component for preventing the data loss protection in classify. So data loss protection, whatever you have read that. And then once you are done with that, and then you continue, let's say, wait a second, before you go to the second module, you need to do the training of the first module. That's mean the practical part. As I was telling you, one module could have 0, 1 or more labs. But for example, in this you have a just one lab. For example, let's see if this one has more than one, just to show you. This is also has one, but there's some model that has more than one. Whatever you will find during your training. So that is how you're reading things, and now let's say, okay, I had to go. I already access the material. I read, and now I had to go to the training. So first of all, the training, there's some hands-on lab that you have to do, and there is a skill pipe is where your books are. On the other hand, there is another website from Microsoft as well. It's called Extreme Lab. It's skill pipe books, Extreme labs or practical training. So there is a user guide. You can find this user guide online if you needed to. It's just telling you how to use this Streamlab. But anyway, uh, I just click on the Streamlab user guide, but you need to click on the Streamlab access. Again, you have to do it through our platform. Why? Because if you don't do it through our platform, let's say you go directly from your website, like I'm going to do now. Even I have a long game, but let's say you go this way, so that won't be recorded in our platform, or and in case we need some report from you because you're asking to detail or your activity in the platform with us, we won't be able to show your activity with Streamlab. That's why it is important. Again, I'm gonna close this, and I'm going to do it again, that you access everything from our platform, so we can have a report. So once you click, our platform will detect and you can log in. After that, you can close this window. So again, you need a user email and a password. If we, through our email, our welcome email, we haven't give you an account, uh, that's mean credential, that's mean username and password for a Streamlab. Remember, training, practical labs, Streamlabs, at the end labs. On the other hand, books, theory is a skill pipe. So two different sides, skill pipe books, Streamlab training. So if we haven't sent you, if we haven't sent you uh, uh, um, uh, your credential for a Streamlab, so you need
Yes,
to.
for me, I have the Streamlabs credentials
Oh,
on
that's
the
great.
email.
Okay, so okay, that sounds perfect. But thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for this feedback. So okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to log. inside Streamlab. Streamlab, yes. So you have your credential. Even I have mine here already here. Hopefully it works. So once you had logged in, it's absolutely the same as the skill pipe. Here are all the courses I have been taking. And if you haven't done any course with us, it won't appear nothing. But important here is that all the courses here, they have a validation time period. That means it will start some date, and they give you access to until some 3 months, 2 months, differently depending of the course. So, for example, look that the expiration date will appear, and it will tell you. So I have because I'm going to be part of you. I have I will activate my code for your course, and usually start with mock this code. Take a look that all the code start with a code. So if you don't have nothing, it's because you haven't done any codes. But anyway, you have to activate your code so you can have uh, uh, you have the you will go to, and your left hand side will say access code, and here on upper right hand side it will say enter a code, add your code, and then you just copy and paste the code that we have sent you, and then you say add your code. Once you say, look that all my courses are expired, so once you say add your code, take a look that it now is active, and I have unactivated, and that's been look that I will be able to use the training, the practical part, the labs until this February 17. Okay, so once you have done that, you go to view your labs, and in your labs, they will appear. They will appear that course that you have taken. For example, look that will appear this lab that's at the moment you are we are taking. Uh, because I'm a because I'm a MCT Microsoft certified trainer, usually they appear a lot of course, and I had to put it here. But anyway, because I had that one just active, and I just click on that, take a look that all the labs will appears, and and then for example, this is lab MO1, that's mean lab module 1, MO2 is model 2, model 3, and so on until model 8, because we had 8 models. So you can start doing your. So here is a link to take you to Microsoft Learn. If you want to go from this way, you click on that, and it will take you to Microsoft Learn, the ones we already saw. But here is in more specific stuff. So we're going to start to do in the first lab, and then say that that will bring up a virtual machine where you can when you will be able to do your training to your practical stuff for your first module. Okay, while this is loading, I want to because this will be loading a virtual machine, as I say. On your left hand side will appear the instruction of the lab. Look, that was quickly anyway. So here is something that is called paste content, and because we already admin, we don't need to select the username, but the password we need it, and it say paste context. If we click in that little icon, it will paste for us the password that is written there. So if we click on the eye, so we can see and we can see it's the correctly. So we just go and click OK. Let me call you. That will take a little while. Okay. This is fast. Usually it take a lot of time. Anyway, today is faster. I don't know why, or they have improved. If you think so, it will take you. This is a virtual machine which is located somewhere in the United States. I am in Spain, in Madrid. And the first thing that I wanna call your attention is the date and time. Look that this machine locally is in the United States, probably is United States Central. I don't know exactly, but it says 4:53 a.m. and currently I have a 1:53 p.m. So the time is not it's not exactly. It's February 10th. The date is okay. So and also the keyboard is in English. If I want to change the keyboard, I will have to click on the English and I have to go all the way down and select, for example, Spanish or Latin, Argentina, etc. If I want to change the time, so I had to click on the time, and once aquí set up your calendar, what you needed. Or you can go right click and then you say adjust time, date and time. And then we bring you and then look, that is the Pacific time. That means Pacific, US and Canada. And then you need to put your local time. Why is that? Because sometimes uh, uh, the machine is not working correctly because, for example, the update. If the update is not your local time, it will ring the bell telling that you are in a different time zone and it cannot be adjusted. There is be some problems. I put, for example, Madrid, Paris, Brussels, and that's synchronized now, and here already is 1:55. Usually in virtual machine happen that if you don't have the correct time, even internet won't work. It happened to me before. That's what I'm telling you as experience. Okay, so we already correct the time. I don't want to change the keyboard. Why? Because sometimes we need to put passwords, and there is some mismatching while I'm typing for the password that I'm copying from here. It will click it will click the keyboards that correspond to that password, and because my keyboard is differently, the password won't be exactly the same. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, the most important thing is here is that this is a Streamlab GUI interface. We need to know a little bit about this interface in order to manipulate and manage very well. So here there is some things that telling me the instruction. Once I have login, I go to an exercise and it will tell you you are going to do the lab number 1 from the model 1, and this is going to explore Microsoft 365 Defender, and then you can check or you don't check anyway. And then it will tell you that you will be working with so-called tenant. Uh, tenant, I hope if you don't understand what a tenant is, a hierarchical structure in the Azure, where all your resources are deployed in the Microsoft Cloud, namely Azure. So because you will be using Microsoft an account, it has the main domain of Microsoft.com, and then it will give you your domain, username and domain. Anyway, so the first icon will guide us the exercise. The second one is a keyboard, as you can see, and the keyboard will give you some functionalities to operate with the currently virtual machine. Depending of the course you are doing, for example, if we are doing if we are doing some kind of network course where we need to have like some kind of server client infrastructure, more than 2 clients, let's say 2 client, 3 servers, and whatever we will have, because this course we need to do that in order to put in training all the skill that we will learn. We will have differently more than one virtual machine. And here, and for your course, you have 2 virtual machines. You have a server and you have a window machine. We are logged at the moment currently to to the client. And also there is a server. So if we click on the server, it will take us to the server. So here we will depending of the exercise we're doing, it will tell you now you have to go to the Win server, and it will tell you the user or the administrator from the Win server is the name is Sasha's, and this is here the password. The exercise will tell you. But anyway, we need to be at the moment in the clan, in the virtual machine in clan with Windows machine. So in here some functionalities. So if you want to restart your virtual machine, if you want to take a screenshot of what you are doing, paste the content, you know what is control delete. It's like a reset. Accessibility. Accessibility is for people that they have impaired hearing. They don't see well, so they can you can enhance some UI in order to allow you to. And information is important. Information is the credential, the cloud credential. Always information. Let's say you are doing a course where you need to use a specific software of Microsoft here. If it's so, you will have a license. You will need a license for that software, and the virtual machine will have already installed that license, that software for you, and that license. But that license will correspond to a specific user. In this case, you will have in the information you have that credential for that. For example, you will be using the Office 365 credential. That means you need the license for Office 365 credential. You will handle with a company that had installed, because you are a security analyst. In order to be a security analyst, you need a company with where resources, with a lot of your co-workers. You have 50, 100 co-workers, and you are administrating all the resources for your company. You need to put in place some security measure, let's say multiple factor authentication, business hello, etc., etc., etc. You will know as you advance in your course what I'm talking. So because of that, you will be the admin, and that is the account of the admin. For every tenant, the admin and probably the password is the same, but it can be the same. So credentials and information here. If you need to make some note, for example, I need to keep this for example. I just copy, I put it here, and the paste, for example. It doesn't accept me to paste. Anyway, here, Control V, and I could paste I can save it. It's a file in document, I can print it, etc. Because this is a virtual machine, doesn't stop me from going, for example, to my OneDrive account. For example, if I have OneDrive account or have whatever OneDrive, I don't know if that OneDrive account, and I can log, and I can all the exercises file, whatever, I can upload it, and I have it on the cloud, and I can say outside the virtual machine all the files that I need. So I can go sign in to my virtual to my OneDrive account, but you have Google Drive, whatever you have, and you are working in this virtual machine, you can file, etc., 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 and then you needed to save it somewhere, so you can create this is a PC as it's just a virtual machine, but you have all the possibility as you are working locally. So you can do some text here, Excel, whatever, and then you want to say that you log into OneDrive account, and then you put all that inside, and then you can create a folder that says labs or whatever, and then you just say all the things you are doing. So the first icon is your instruction for the lab. The second functionality for you to have with your actual virtual machine. It will be the credential in case you need it. And this is some kind of text editor. Anyway, now I want to call your attention to once you start doing your exercise, for example, it tells you, you'll go in your Win1 virtual machine, that's meaning the client machine, and put the admin and password. Go to the Microsoft already or Microsoft and go to security, sign in, and then you start your doing your stuff here. And then that's all the exercise. Let's say we have done that. We and then here is not more to go. You said you complete your lab. So once you completed your lab, you go to this to the second lab, right? Because that's all we have done. And then you go lab action. You say in your lab. Sometimes this is also very important. Look that there is a time, lab time left. You have usually Microsoft already calculate that we need 2 hours to do a lab. Excuse me. What it means by that? Independently of what lab you are doing, Microsoft allows you to, or in this case, still allow you to be 2 hours in a lab. And you also, if you are going to do a lab, you need to be to have yourself save at least 2 hours to do the lab. Why is that? Because, for example, there's some lab that are so long. You have so many uh, exercises for task. Look, that's this exercise one, as I was telling you, exercise one and task one. Lab one, exercise. So that's what I was telling you about the photo. Exercise one, task one. Okay. Let's say you are in the middle of very long exercise, a lab that has like 10 or 20 exercises, and then each exercise has like 3, 4 tasks, and you have to and you suddenly you have to go away, you have to close the lab. Sometimes this doesn't work very well. It says save your lab, but sometimes depending also of the course, you cannot save the lab. And because you cannot save the lab and you're in the middle of the lab, and there is a lot of you have done, you had created files, you had created things, and you needed to go ahead in that previous steps, and you have not saved that. And then when you return to the lab next day, everything is gone, and you say, oh, it's very frustrating that you have some doing so many tasks, so many exercises, and then you have to redo it again because you stop in the middle. That's why that's why this 2 hour. It is calculated that you need at most 2 hours to do any lab, and that's what Microsoft recommend you, that you have to uh, give yourself at least 2 hours to do a lab. That's mean you're going to start a lab and you're going to end that lab, and you will have no problem and stopping at the middle and not saving your work, and everything is going to be fine. That's why this time, of course, when the here it tells you the time is running like 5 minutes left. It tell you time is running. Please extend. You click on a button and it will send you. Also, here you can save your lab in case sometimes it won't be saved. Sometimes, I guess, in a week, 3 times. That's 3 times you can save. After 3 times, you cannot save anymore. There is some configuration that you have to do and you have to care about, because otherwise you will be very frustrated that you cannot go back to your lab and do as you were doing. Okay, so that's important. So on the other hand, it is if your lab is very extensive and you have a lot of point to do, browsing these little windows is very annoying. So there is another trick. If you go into Google and then if you go into Google and then you know exactly the code of the Microsoft course. This one is SC-200, right? So we go in there and then we put the SC-200 and we write GitHub, and then that will tell us, they will take us to the repository where all the instructions for all the labs are. And then usually if you just put the code of your course, and after that you just put GitHub, the first option will be the one you here. An instruction, First, with the green button, you can download everything, all the labs, everything that is inside this folder. And namely, what is inside is, for example, you have all the file, you have the instruction, but instruction, you have labs, you have demo, media, demo, etc. But we're interested about lab. Here are the instructions of all your lab. For example, look that, for example, module one just had one lab, but module two has two labs. Lab one extension of module three has two, etc. So, for example, I just going to here is even more detail about in detail of what you're going to do. The first exercise is called Explore Microsoft 365. So if we go in here, and going all the way back, we will see that explore you are a security operation analyst working at company, blah blah blah. So it will be saying you are a security implementing, you are standing president, obtain your 365 credential, and then if you go here, obtain your once you learn the blah blah blah, because this course tenant suffice, it explain you a little bit tenant suffice everything that you have in your lab, because you have to log in. The virtual machine is very annoying. So you have it here. Once you download everything, you will have this instruction in your PC. You can love it. And for example, here are some, for example, these pictures. This picture you can watch it independently, but this picture, all these images are also uh, you have instruction and we have media, and we can see these are those pictures that, for example, uh, here are the pictures that you will be seeing in all the labs. So once you download the whole thing, you are in the main branch, and then you say code, and then you say download. You will bring everything is in here, and you can have it locally, and the solution you will have it locally. So that's just how you will start doing your labs, and then you are ready to to start. You have your uh, theory, you had your training labs, and then there is another part, which is the uh, sometimes you need to create some resources in the Azure. Let's say you need to create a virtual machine, you need to do this, you need to do that. In order to create resources, you will have to have a so-called Azure Pass. The Azure Pass will give you the ability to go inside the Azure portal and start creating resources. Let me go and do that for me. And then you go into the Azure portal. So you write portal Azure, that portal dot Azure.com, and then it will ask you to log in. I'm going to log with my personal account. I have a MSCT account. So usually, of course, they will. I had double factor authentication, and because I had double factor authentication, will ask me some verification code. So it's not so difficult. So please allow me. Yeah, I have it here. You already sent me. Okay, where is it? Okay, I have the code here. The code is 709. 8835. Okay. So, and then look, I don't have nothing. But in order for you to have to create resources, virtual machine, etc., 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 you will need a so-called Azure account, access to the Azure portal. Okay, so you need to go to Azure portal where you will implement your deploy or your resources. So to get inside the Azure portal, you need so-called Azure Pass. And there's three kind of Azure Pass. The so-called student Azure Pass, you can Google, you go to Microsoft, Azure that Microsoft is in Spanish, free student. Um, you can get a free account. A free account, we will give you the possibility to get a free account. And the third kind of access to the portal is through a voucher. Usually, when you are doing some training at the institution, depending of the what you are paying and you agree and you need a lot of practical training, and also you need the extra part, the institution will include for you a so-called voucher. A voucher is a code that you will redeem in the so-called micros in this address, Microsoft Azure Pass. Okay, a student, if you are if you belong to a institutional, if you are a student of university or any other educational institute in your country that is recognized by Microsoft, sometimes it's very funny because it doesn't have any edu, but it is recognized by the state. In this case, we are in Spain, so if the institution recognized by the Ministry of Education in Spain, Microsoft will recognize it too. And you, with that email account of that educational institute, you can get an access to the Microsoft student free account. So you click on that and it will take you to the student account. It tells you that it's going to be free, that you have $100 credit. Of course, this is in Spanish because I usually uh, give only in Spanish, but you can put it in English as I told you before. So you have your credit. You don't need no credit card because the Microsoft will recognize your email account as a educational institution, and then it tells you what you can do with all that, etc., etc. How do you do? You start with free, and you sign up, and then it will ask you for your, of course, your student account. You sign in, and you're going through a process that I will describe you. A free account is for anybody who wants to have so a free account. What is a free account? A free account is also free in Microsoft. You can start for free. It will ask you also for an account, a personal account. But here, during the process that you will be filling, it will ask you for a credit card, and that's our the policy and things that Microsoft has, and we cannot change that. Microsoft, it won't charge you anything. I haven't heard from anybody who been charged for a free account. Microsoft tells they need your your credit card only to assure that you are what you are telling that you are. I mean, just to confirm your identity. But it won't charge you anything. And then you have this voucher, and the Microsoft Pass. It will take you also again. It will tell you to sign in with any email account, and then it will ask you for a voucher number that you will get from even Microsoft or institution that you are doing your training. So in case you have a voucher, you go to Microsoft account, Microsoft Azure Pass, and then you sign in, you say start, and then when you say start, it will ask you to prompt your email. This is very, very, very important. A voucher is a code, again, it's a hash number 25, hash number 13, I don't know how many are there. Anyway, you have to sign. This is very, very important. If you sign with your corporate email account, the you will burn the voucher. You will this account will be no more useful. It won't. You won't do nothing if you sign with your corporate or your organization account. It has to be a personal from you, and one email that you haven't used before for any other voucher. So very, very important, a personal email. Never with a corporate account. This is very, very important. Never, because I can tell you, never ever. I keep repeating this because people always once you, and again, a personal email. You fill in your personal email. Look, that's his Hotmail account is not It's not corporate, it's not Nanfor Iberica or Marca or whatever account. It's a personal account. It will tell you to confirm your email. Once you confirm, this is the same process for any other voucher. Once you sign in, a student, even even the free account, the other two party will take you to this process to fill your information. Will tell you, ask you address, etc., 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 etc. You just fill all the information. Of course, in the free account, the next step will be to fill your credit account number. But this is voucher. Be, in this step, you will put your voucher uh, before the code, and then you confirm your, and then it will take you here. Once it is recognized, it will ask you to if you are satisfied, if you're not, happy face, angry face, you put some, the kitchen is one, you click on send, and then it will be created. And and then you will get two emails uh, to that personal email account that you had done it. The first email, it will tell you that you're ready with your Azure subscription, and then you can go to the portal and start, deploying resources, etc. But most important, because you will ask me, I'm very sure you will ask me, because for the voucher you have a defined amount of credit, and also the specific time to use it. So the voucher will be for 1 month, 6 months, etc., and will have $100, $200, etc. So if you understand creating resources and you waste all your credit, the account will be no longer valid because you already run out of credit. That's just or you never use it and the time passed by, and then it said until the 30th of January, and January is over, and then you cannot, the 1st of February, you cannot use it anymore, that account, because there is a expiration time period. Anyway, so in this two email is very important, because if you are creating email, you will tell me, okay, how much money I have been using in my account. So okay, when once you in one of the mails said you go to the portal, you go to the portal, it will tell you you wanna go a tour, if you already know, but no. But in what is my balance? Where you will ask me how much credit I have been using. So in another email, you will get an email that says you have been approved. In that email, it will tell you how much money you have, how much credit do you have until Guita, and uh, when your account will be valid. So this is important as well. But also more important is down below, there is a link, and it tells you that you can check your credit balance in that link. So you hit or click on sponsorship balance portal, and then it will take you to a window, say check your balance. You click and check your balance, and that will prompt you another window. It will tell you how much money you have been waiting, etc., etc., etc. Your account ID, how much you have been, and so you know how much balance you have, less your usage, etc. And that is very important. And the end, the other part is that we are, I mean, there will be me and some other trainer that will be behind your learning, in case you have any question, you have any doubt, and you're something that is the question that came up, because you need to know. We all always we try to answer you as much fast as we can, so you can write us. You can, if it's a specific of the course, write in the forum. If it's a specific something more personal, you can write us directly to Nanfor Iberica support. That where we every moment we are reading your email in order to answer you as quickly as we can. So that is for me. Uh, at this moment, I'm pretty sure I have forgetting a few things, but if you have any question, please ask me. It's something that you would like to know, anything that I can help now at this moment with, and I will try to answer you as much as I can. If you have any question.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for your presentation. Just two key questions. Do we, as you can say, this session has been recorded. Will we be having access to this record, or it's just for you?
Yes, yes. So, okay, I will first you remind me just to stop
Yep.
the record. Okay, so